You need to implement a AS9100. We'll guide you step by step. Welcome back. We now move to Roadmap Step 2, Building the Process Map. A AS9100 Clause 4.4 requires the organization to determine the processes needed for its quality management system and define how they interact. A good process map makes that system visible, understandable, and usable. For this process map, we will use two flows, information and material. Information explains what is required and what happened. Material shows how product moves. Financial flow is real, but we will keep it outside this map so the picture remains clear. We will build the map from a blank page. First, we will establish the company context and process families. Then we will add each process and complete the informational network before drawing the physical material path. Before continuing, recognize the financial flow. Customer payments enter the business and the company pays suppliers and service providers. When needed, show that movement separately with a one-way dash dot arrow. It supports financial analysis, but it is not the purpose of this process map. Now let us define the informational flow. It begins with customer needs and requirements. Inside the company, it becomes specifications, instructions, approvals, status, decisions, and records. Delivery information and feedback return to the customer. Because the exchange moves both ways, use a thin dashed line with arrowheads at both ends. Here is the governing rule for the entire map. Every material flow must always have an associated informational flow. Material cannot be received, identified, stored, processed, inspected, released, or shipped without information controlling its identity, quantity, status, instructions, acceptance criteria, and records. Material flow begins at purchasing, the supplier interface. It moves to receiving, then production, and finally the customer. Each move uses a thin solid arrow and carries its required informational control. We will build the complete route including storage, inspection, and shipping after the informational network is finished. Now create the first structural pillar, the outer frame. This rectangle represents the market and industry context. Customers appear on the input and output sides. The company operates within this context, receives external requirements, and returns its results to the market. A strong process map should explain the company in one snapshot. An employee, process owner, customer, or auditor should quickly see where requirements enter, how product is realized, where controls are applied, and how results reach the customer. Next, classify every process into three families. Strategic processes direct the organization and review performance. Fundamental processes convert requirements and controlled material into the customer's product. Support processes provide the people, competence, resources, and system controls that enable the fundamental processes. Place strategic management above and outside the market and industry frame. That position has meaning. Strategic management oversees the company and its external environment, including interested parties. Direction enters the system, while performance information returns for evaluation and decisions. Inside the outer context, create one inner frame for the fundamental processes. These processes transform customer requirements and controlled material into delivered product. Customers remain outside this frame, strategic management stays above it, and support processes remain below it. Now place the support processes below the fundamental frame, but inside the broader market context. Show quality management and human resources as separate process boxes, not one generic support band. Each connects independently to the fundamental system through its own informational exchange. Before drawing connectors, fix the topology. Reserve each process position and leave clean horizontal and vertical corridors. From this point forward, established objects should not move. Every connector must reach the correct box edge without diagonals, crossings, or ambiguous routes. With the structure fixed, begin with the left side customer and add the sales process. Connect them with one thin, dashed, double-headed line. This controlled exchange carries needs, questions, clarifications, quotations, commitments, and customer decisions into the company. Next, add engineering below sales. Connect sales and engineering and connect the customer to engineering through the reserved left corridor. Engineering interprets drawings, specifications, technical requirements, and changes, converting them into the controlled technical definition needed to realize the product. Now add production beside engineering. For now, connect production to sales and engineering with dashed information lines. Sales communicates priorities and commitments. Engineering provides the drawings, specifications, and work instructions needed to perform the work. We are still building the informational network, so material has not been added yet. Now add purchasing or supply chain management beside sales. Begin with its informational connection to sales. Purchasing converts company needs into controlled supplier requirements, obtains confirmation and status, and maintains the records needed to control externally provided products and services. Then add receiving inspection. Before adding material, connect purchasing and receiving with a dashed, double-headed route. Receiving needs purchase orders, specifications, quantities, dates, certificates, and acceptance requirements. Purchasing also needs inspection results and status to maintain supplier control. Place the stock room below receiving inspection and connect them informationally first. Before accepted material moves into storage, the stock room needs part identity, accepted quantity, inspection status, traceability, preservation requirements, and assigned location. This prevents rejected or unidentified material from entering production. Next, add quality inspection below production and beside the stock room. Connect production to quality inspection, then quality inspection to the stock room. These exchanges carry inspection criteria, product identity, results, nonconformance status, acceptance, and release information. Product cannot move forward until its status is clear. Now add shipping to the right of the stock room, followed by the output side customer. Connect stock room to shipping and shipping to the customer with dashed, double-headed routes. These exchanges control release, packing, traceability documents, delivery requirements, shipment status, and receipt confirmation. At this point, complete the remaining informational exchanges. Customer requirements enter through sales and engineering. Internal processes exchange instructions, status, evidence, and decisions to control the work. Delivery information and feedback return to the customer. The dashed network is complete before any material arrow appears. Now add strategic management above the operating picture. Connect it to the outer context with one vertical dashed double-headed line. Management provides direction, objectives, priorities, and resources, while the organization returns performance results, risks, opportunities, and information for management review. Below the fundamental frame, first add quality management and draw its own dashed double-headed exchange with operations. It carries system control and improvement information. Then add human resources and give it a separate dashed double-headed exchange for competence and personnel information. Material does not flow through either support process. Only now do we add the material flow. Follow the solid path, purchasing to receiving inspection, then stock room, production, quality inspection, and back to the same stock room after release. From there, material moves to shipping and finally to the customer. Every solid route has a matching informational exchange. Before release, verify 6 points. First, the boundary and customer interfaces are clear. Second, every flow has a defined origin and destination. Third, every process is classified as strategic, fundamental, or support. Fourth, purchasing or supply chain owns the supplier interface. Fifth, every connector can be explained plainly. Sixth, one real order can be traced from start to finish. With that verification complete, roadmap step 2 is accomplished. The organization now has one shared picture of its boundary, customer interfaces, process families, informational network, and material path. In the next episode, step 3 will build the organizational chart and assign authority around this system. That is the process map, one clear snapshot of how the complete company system works.